Welcome back to Chapter 1, Topic B, Stars and Bars, Practice. So here's the game plan for today. We will go through the problem from last video and go through some competition-styled hard problems for drilling. Okay, so here's how to do the problem. Since A, B, C, D are odd, they can be replaced in the form of 2k plus 1. So when you replace the entire equation by replacing A, B, C, D with 2k plus 1, you get this form written here. Now if you simplify the expression, you get this. And you get this form. Now what this does is that this completely simplifies out everything, because in the original problem, what makes this hard is that since A, B, C, D are odd integers, we don't know how to solve them because we never dealt with only odd integers. But now, K, I, J, and X can be any integers, can be odd and it can be even. So now, it's just a matter of distributing 8 values or 8 elements into 4 subsets. So by the stars and bars formula, that will be C, 8 plus 3, choose 3, which is C, 11, choose 3. And now, we will get the answer as 165. Here's an easier way to understand what just happened. Imagine we're distributing 20 apples to 4 people, A, B, C, and D, but all of them have to have an odd number of apples. Now, odd number means that it is at minimum 1 apple. So we can just pre-distribute them 1 apple because we're going to give them 1 apple either way. In all cases of scenario, they at least have 1 apple. So we just need to pre-distribute them to the 4 people to make this problem easier to solve. So now we're distributing 16 apples to A, B, C, and D, who already have 1. So now we're distributing 16 apples to A, B, C, and D, but this time they must have an even number of apples. So now, from the 16 apples, we can think of them as having a bag for every 2 apples. So now instead of having 16 apples, we have 8 bags of 2 apples. And now we can distribute the bags to A, B, C, and D just like the way stars and bars intended, because there's no integer constraints on how much apples the people have to have. We'll now move on to hard problems. Here's a hard problem shown on the screen right here. I'll review the hint in 3 seconds. Feel free to pause. Okay, now here's the hint. I will let the slides do the talking. You guys are smart enough to figure it out. And now here's problem number 2, selected directly from the AMC. This question is slightly less hard as the first one, but requires more calculation. I'll review the hint in 3 seconds. Okay, now here's the hint. Again, I'll let the slides do the talking. You guys are pretty smart to figure it out. And that's the end. Here's some general rules and takeaway for you to remember. Firstly is to algebraify every question in some form, because that's really important for you to understand how to use it. Secondly, you have to change all forms of the question in terms of A plus B plus C all the way equals to n, and make sure they all range from 0 to n and they are integers. Lastly, just relax. We covered all variations of this question type. Stars and bars are actually not that hard. Lastly, the most important point of all, make sure the subsets, which is the A plus B plus C sets, are distinct